Good evening once again. I request all the people around the stalls to grab a seat so that we're able to start the 29th annual HYSEA Industry Awards as soon as possible. I request all the people manning the stalls to join us too so that we are able to start the event in time. Thank you. So very good evening, everybody. I think it's time to get going with the 29th Annual HYSEA Industry Awards 2021. I understand the stalls are very, very interesting. We have drones, codeless apps, to whatnot, right? I understand it's going to hold your attention, but I also request you to come and occupy your seat so that we're able to start the event in time, because the stalls are going to be around for at least 30 minutes after the event for you to check and understand the entire gamut of their offering. So I request all of you to come and grab the best seat in the house so that we are able to start. Today indeed is another day to celebrate technology with pioneers from various brands present here to support and encourage technology in a way we only get to see in Hyderabad more often than not. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know, as I said, the stalls out there are very interesting, I understand, but what we're going to be doing now is a different kind of a celebration. We're going to be celebrating technology in the truest of senses. To the uninitiated, the HYSEA is a non-profit that brings various IT and ITES organizations in Telangana together to network, share knowledge, and work closely with the government and all these stakeholders for business, social, and economic development. As the youngest state in the country, it's very important that we give timely support and recognition to people who are trying to create a change using technology. And HYSEA has been doing that successfully for quite some time now. I welcome all our guests and our guests of honor to the evening where we truly, truly celebrate technology. I request President of HYSEA, Mr. Bharani K. Arol, to walk in our guest of honors onto the stage. Please put your hands together as I invite Mr. N.G. Subramaniam, COO and Executive Director, Tata Consultancy Services Limited. I also request on Mr. C.V.D. Ramprasad, the Director, STPI Hyderabad. Thank you so much. It's lovely to have all of you on stage. Like all good things, we would love to start our event with a dash of green, because go green is just not a fad, that is a lifestyle that we encourage. So I request President Mr. Bharani to hand over a dash of green to our guest of honor, please. Mr. Bharani. Fantastic. Well begun, half done, as they say. Now I request the President of HYSEA, Mr. Bharani K. Arol, to do the welcome address for the entire gathering.
Respected Mr. N.G. Subramaniam, COO and Executive Director, TCS, Mr. Ram Prasad, and Mr. Jayesh Ranjan is just very much on his way. And we just heard that Honorable IT Minister K.T. Ramarao Garu is tied up with different other priority and he's not able to come. But he has already sent his wishes that the events, he's been watching the proceedings and has just extended his greetings to the organizing committee and also all the delegates here. Past presidents of HYSEA, management committee members of HYSEA, industry leaders, representatives from the government, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the management committee and also on my personal behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the 29th Annual HYSEA Awards presentation, jointly being organized by HYSEA, Government of Telangana and STPI Hyderabad. Special thanks to Mr. N.G. Subramaniam, COO and Executive Director, TCS, who has taken the time from his very busy schedule to participate in this event in person. Thank you very much, sir, and we are very honored to have you here amongst us today. As the 15th President of HYSEA, it is an honor and privilege to state that our organization, which is a key pillar to the growth of Hyderabad IT industry, has completed 30 years of its incredible service to the city and state. HYSEA's glorious 30 years are also ITES industry's glorious 30 years. 30 years of promoting conducive business ecosystem, nurturing SMBs, building IT leadership, collective CSR and policy advocacy. On this wonderful occasion, let me take a moment to thank all the past presidents, office bearers, and management committee members, our sponsors, secretariat staff, our volunteers, the government, and most importantly, our member organizations, who are the primary reason for our existence sustenance. HYSEA in these 3 decades has witnessed total evolution of the IT industry in Hyderabad. And thanks to all the stakeholders on the trust and support during our entire journey in this growth story. Sincere thanks and gratitude to each and every one of them. Well, I'm delighted to share that we had a great morning session filled with exceptional speakers deliberating on very important topics. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan is here. Sir, please welcome to the dais, please. A big applause to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary, IT and Industry. Yes. Telangana has clocked about 12.98% growth in financial year 2021 over the previous financial year in the IT export revenue. The growth is substantial considering the onset of COVID-19 pandemic and its adverse impact on the economy. Our hearty congratulations to the Telangana government on this incredible achievement. Many states envy us for a main reason that we have a visionary IT minister and a dynamic principal secretary, and their contribution is quite significant in this growth story. A big round of applause to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan and our Honorable IT Minister, Mr. K.T. Ramarao. We thank the unstinted support the state government extends to the IT industry in Hyderabad. I'm sure Hyderabad will continue to achieve many laurels in the coming years. If we go back to history, software investment in Hyderabad started in a very small way in 1990s. IT companies had a very small footprint in the city. Very few companies like TCS and Intergraph had offices in the city. IT activity gained momentum once the Software Technology Parks of India Directorate was set up in the city. In addition, the governments came up with business-friendly policies and took proactive steps to seek IT investments to the city. Together, these factors started attracting more and more IT investments to the city. Over the last 3 decades, governments have treated the IT, pharmaceutical, and biotechnology sectors as high priority and created liberal industrial policies for each of them. Focusing on sustainable long-term economic growth, each government has developed business-centric focus areas, provided tax incentives to the companies, ensured cooperation in respect of land allocation, and provided 24/7 power supply, state-of-art infrastructure, and seamless connectivity. Since the formation of our new state in 2014, the Telangana government has been very proactive in attracting IT investments to the city. They actively engage with companies looking to invest in the city, eased policies to simplify business transactions, and made space and infrastructure available at low costs. We have been witnessing a CAGR of 14.25% in ITS exports since 2013 and 14, doubling the export revenues in just 6 years, which clearly demonstrates the government's commitment to aggressively grow the exports from Hyderabad to make it the largest IT exporter in India. The year gone by has been challenging on the pandemic front due to devastating wave 2, but the industry stepped up to help. HYSEA played a major role in partnership with the NGO, Nirman, and its member companies. Nearly 20 crores was raised as an eventual 200 ICU beds were set up in TIMS and 7 other rural districts of Telangana. We involved in various other forms of COVID relief activities thanks to the generous contribution from member companies. More than 35 companies participated in the initiative, the largest donors being Qualcomm, Microsoft, Franklin Templeton, OpenText, Cognizant, Wells Fargo, Infosys, CGI, Value Momentum, Virtusa, UST Global, and so on. HYSEA organized webinars on COVID awareness and also led the vaccination drives, collaborating with leading corporate hospitals and government hospitals. HYSEA did not stop its activities even during the pandemic. We used virtual platforms and physical events as needed to continue to extend our support to the industry. I would like to take this opportunity to quickly cover some of these activities. HYSEA administered several surveys during the pandemic to constantly measure the mood and pulse of the industry and to gain insights. Recently, a return to office survey was also done to gain insights from the industry in terms of return to work. The survey was very well received and appreciated by the industry and captured the situation accurately considering conditions prevailing at the time. Vaccination turned out to be a very key factor in RTO. HYSEA also organized a design-thon, a design-focused hackathon for students in association with JNTUH, TASK, and the Devarkonda Foundation. HYSEA's Infra Forum started 2021 with a pledge to reduce single-use plastic, and a manual to this effect was released by Mr. Jayesh Ranjan at the event in 2021 January. The CSR Summit with Mr. P. Gopichand as chief guest turned out to be a huge success, with HYSEA taking the lead to organize a physical event as Wave 1 ended and industry was looking to return to office. As a follow-up to the summit, HYSEA also held a roundtable with Lead India Foundation and empaneled NGO. Our innovation forum focused on hosting a series of webinars on technology and innovation covering many topics and inviting successful entrepreneurs across the globe to share their success stories. HYSEA tied up with a regional media channel, TV5, and conducted a series of awareness programs under the title HYSEA E-Tech Series, covering the latest digital technologies for several weeks, targeting the student community and IT employees as a part of upskilling and reskilling programs. Many thanks to TV5 and its anchor, Mr. Vasant, who's here, for helping us do this wonderful program for many, many weeks. HYSEA conducted its 37th edition of Leadership Development Program, exclusively for women leaders and managers, where Ms. Shailaja Kiran, MD of Margadarshi Chit Funds, participated and shared her leadership journey. HYSEA organized the prestigious Business Summit on April 9, 2021, just before the Wave 2 hit the country and Hyderabad. Mr. Rajiv Nambiar, Chairman and MD, Cognizant India, was the chief guest, and Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary, IT and EC Department, Government of Telangana, was guest of honor. 25 plus speakers, 4 roundtables, 2 keynote addresses, and a leader note address was the highlights of the summit. 400 plus delegates joined in virtually and in person at HYCC. While battling COVID Wave 2, HYSEA also went ahead and launched the much-awaited and needed Women Leaders Forum on 24th June 2021. Ms. Mamta Madi Reddy, Center Director, GHC, Hyderabad, HSBC, was chosen to be the leader of the forum. Dr. Srimati Tamilisai Soundararajan, Honorable Governor of Telangana, launched the HYSEA Women Leaders Forum virtually. Subsequently, nearly about 50 women leaders were brought together for a networking meeting under the Women Leaders Forum. We collectively set a goal to promote and achieve 20% women leaders in 4 years in the IT industry of Hyderabad from the current 5 to 6%. There are multiple other interventions being planned by this forum to promote women leadership. One of them is mentoring platform, which has already been inaugurated in collaboration with a company called Beyond Pinks. Help desk of HYSEA members was launched, where 7 experts in different areas like employment law, taxation, IPR, and contracts, HR, where impaneled would answer members' queries for free up to a level of support. HYSEA launched its prestigious program, Cloud Center of Excellence. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan launched the same in a virtual program. I'm happy to share that we are working with the Telangana government, MeitY, T-Hub, and the cloud platform providers to obtain funding for the COE, to incubate a couple of startups, groom talent, support cloud adoption, and thus creating a strong cloud ecosystem in the state. HYSEA also conducted a survey on future work models to showcase to its member community on what could be the emerging new models of work arrangements. In August, HYSEA launched one of the biggest online internship fair under the aegis of Industry Academia Forum in collaboration with Condura. This was a grand success with hundreds of students getting internship opportunity in many different organizations and member companies of HYSEA. In summary, I can certainly state on behalf of HYSEA leadership, including my successors, that we will strive to provide our value-based services to our member community and to all the stakeholders in the ecosystem to motivate and support continued growth of the industry. Hyderabad boasts of a strong ecosystem thanks to the involved IT leadership and industry association and government. Leaders and captains of the industry have closely collaborated with industry organizations to host free knowledge-sharing seminars, conferences, and workshops on topic of interest. A special mention has to be made about the startup ecosystem that has emerged in the last 10 years. Building on the existing infrastructure, supported by industry leaders and fortified by strong mentorship, Hyderabad boasts of startups spread across enterprise software, e-commerce, data analytics, big data, and healthcare sectors. These startups hold the promise of groundbreaking innovation and design. Thanks to the pioneering efforts of the Telangana government and establishing the enabling ecosystem comprising of TASK, T-Hub, RICH, TSISE, V-Hub, etc. The future is very bright for the startups in our state. HYSEA believes the future growth areas for ITES will be surrounding the digital and other emerging technologies, and also transitioning from pure services to a combination of services and productization of services model. IT services industry has been evolving continuously over the last 3 decades. At every step, the underlying ethos has aimed at enabling customer success. To deliver these customer successes, IT industry has to keep rediscovering the way it operates. Productization of services is one such actualization of these ethos, which is now becoming a focus area for IT services industry. Speaking on the Industry Awards by HYSEA, this was instituted more than 2 decades ago and has created a benchmark for excellence in both services as well as product space. The total number of categories in product awards are 6, which are emerging products, fast-growing enterprise product, fast-growing consumer product, established product, product with social impact, product led by women. Jury has selected 6 winners from these 6 categories out of the 32 finalists who put up the stalls here. The whole day today, HYSEA is also announcing today the hottest 10 startups of Hyderabad. They will be mentored by HYSEA and TIE for a period of 1 year. While service awards have been predominantly about export revenues, last year the awards committee deliberated and instituted 2 new awards to recognize companies for creating employment in the state. These awards will be presented with maximum net employee addition category in a year and maximum net women employee addition in a year. Following our tradition of celebrating individual achievements concerning the IT industry, HYSEA takes pride in presenting Lifetime Achievement Award for this year to Mr. J.H. Chowdhury, past President HYSEA, founding member of HYSEA, Chairman of Blockchain Committee India for his decades of service to the Hyderabad IT industry. I congratulate in advance all the award winners today and share their celebration. Thanks to all the jury members for the continued and passionate support every year. Thanks to all our patron sponsors for their continued support, and also QCity, the main sponsor for today's event, for the partnership. And once again, to the Team HYSEA team for the marvelous job. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Check. So the youngest state in the country managed to double its IT exports in 7 years. That deserves a thunderous round of applause. So thank you so much for bringing that to the fore. Next, I would request Mr. CVD Ram Prasad, Director, STPI Hyderabad, to address the audience. Thank you.
respected Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu, Principal Secretary IT and C, Government of Telangana, Sri J. Chaudhary Garu, Sri N.G. Subramaniam, COO and ED TCS, Sri Bharani Arol, President HYSEA, and other dignitaries and leaders from the industry and participants from the startup community. HYSEA Annual Summit and Awards event symbolizes the celebration of achievements of a vibrant IT industry and emerging startup ecosystem in Hyderabad. STPI and HYSEA has a long association of 30 years celebrating this event together with the industry. Regarding the growth of IT industry, we have heard the detailed analysis from the speakers in the morning sessions. Coming to Hyderabad, the IT industry has been recording continuous growth over the last 3 decades. Particularly, it has been exponential during the last 7 years. Despite the pandemic situation, the IT sector in Telangana has recorded double-digit growth and maintained the growth rate ahead of the national average. Besides significant growth of the IT exports and sustained addition of employment in this sector during the last financial year, the city has attracted major investments from the global players and emerging as the fastest growing startup hub in the country. A couple of days back, in one of the meetings, Secretary Mighty Sri Ajay Shahaniji was recollecting the success story of IT industry in Hyderabad. He also expressed his concern as the growth is mostly restricted to the metros like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Northern region, etc., leading to massive congestion of these cities. Government of India is also seriously working on policies to encourage inclusive growth of IT industry to potential smaller cities. There has been efforts at the state level also in this direction. Telangana should take a lead in this, as there are many potential cities where IT hubs can be created and companies located in Hyderabad should come forward to establish satellite centers in these Tier 2 cities. So if we imagine these cities contributing few percent, like 5 to 10%, which can complement to the overall development of Telangana, besides economic development and employment generation. When we can serve US remotely, why can't we adopt the same model outsourcing jobs to Tier 2 cities? This has been my idea. And with these few thoughts, I thank HYSEA for giving me this opportunity. And on behalf of STPI, we congratulate all the award winners. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Means a lot. Now, this introduction has been consistent for quite a few years, and I hope it continues to be so. Anything in Telangana or Hyderabad which is good and requires support finds the support in this dynamic individual. He continues to support bodies and individuals alike while keeping the betterment of the state as his only focus. So please put your hands together as I invite onto the dais our very own Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, IAS Principal Secretary, IT&C Department, Government of Telangana.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Subramaniam, Mr. Barni, Mr. Ram Prasad, distinguished members in the audience. I see quite a few past presidents, Mr. Rajanna, Mr. Murli, few others, most importantly, J. Chaudhary Garu, distinguished leaders of the IT community, HYSEA representatives. Let me also convey my greetings to HYSEA for putting together another very successful event, showcasing some of the innovations in different categories of products, identifying the best IT performers, identifying the best product developers. Greetings to all of them who are going to receive their awards in a short while from now. When Mr. Bharni was speaking about the achievements of HYSEA over the last 1 year, it was indeed a very, very impressive list. It was also a very long list, which also showed that HYSEA did large number of multiple things. And obviously, many of the things were COVID-induced, the kind of support, the kind of assurance that the industry required, particularly the CSR kind of activities which was done. All these have been extremely commendable. And I would like to point to two activities. I don't think you mentioned those, but in my opinion, those were very, very important. See, during the first phase of the first wave, rather, the first wave, which was also uh, which also saw a very prolonged kind of a lockdown, both in the country, in our city, and also rest of the world. Some layoffs started to happen. Some of the, particularly the mid-scale companies, the small companies, they were not able to get any regular revenue stream, and obviously, it was a question of survival for some companies. So they had to, in those kind of extraordinary circumstances, they had to lay off some people. But in Hyderabad, we took a call that even if circumstances necessitate some minimum amount of layoff, we will still try to intervene. And we thought that as a government, if we intervene, it will be misconstrued as if we are kind of interfering in the operational aspects. And if at all we are so concerned, why don't we give them a financial package and so on and so forth. So it was felt that while the government definitely will spearhead, but we will also bring the industry representatives who have better connect with the company who is laying off, and obviously you can counsel them better. So that experiment worked out very, very well. In fact, I don't recall the numbers because first phase is way behind us, but I do remember that we were able to prevent many kind of layoffs. Companies were counseled. They were able to retain the employees using some deferred kind of a payment model or some other ways. And unlike many other cities, I don't have precise numbers, but anecdotally I know that the kind of mayhem which was caused in 2, 3 other cities, which are also considered to be strong IT hubs, that was completely avoided in Hyderabad. So credit goes to the HYSEA leadership for supporting us. And the other thing, of course, it's not that it is happening only in the last 1 year. It has become a good feature and a regular feature of HYSEA. But what I particularly appreciate are the job melas that are conducted. Perhaps because of the pandemic, the job mela was not conducted last year. I'm not very sure, or maybe you did it virtually. But in my opinion, that is a very, very valuable service, because what happens is that if you look at the IT landscape, there are the giants on the one side, and then there are very small mid-scale companies also. So obviously the giants are able to do campus placements, go to campuses, attract the best talent, and so on and so forth. But for a mid-scale company or a small company, this is almost impossible to go to a campus, because first of all, they will not be allowed access to a campus. And even if they go there, there'll be hardly anyone left, because they would have been kind of taken up by all the big boys. And eventually what happens is that they have to make to do with average kind of people. And they also have difficulties in recruitment, because in which case they participate in some kind of recruitment program through some headhunting agency and so on. So job melas are a very useful way of providing that help to mid-scale companies, small companies. And I myself, in normal times, that is before COVID, I'd attended a couple of job melas organized by HYSEA, and I was very, very happy with the kind of response those job melas had created, and the kind of enthusiasm shown by mid-scale companies to recruit people and get easy recruitment to good quality, reasonably good quality talent from across the state. So that is again something which I appreciate. Of course, all the other initiatives that Mr. Barney talked about are also very important. Not to say that I'm undermining the cloud center of excellence or the leadership programs or the women leadership initiatives and various other things that happened throughout the year, particularly the CSR support, which we have already acknowledged from this very platform itself. I would also like to take a few minutes to say something which, in our opinion, is a very important expectation from the industry now. All of you would be aware, many of you were actually present here when we had launched our second IT policy. See, when the state became a state in 2014, we came up with the first IT policy in 2016. And typically, as many of you would know, IT policies have a 5-year, any policy for that matter, a government policy has a 5-year tenure. So the first policy tenure expired early in the year, in 2021 that is. And in August, we launched the second IT policy. Many of you were present. Many of you would have seen it. It is available on our website. And we have received very positive feedback about the IT policy. But one important thing to note in that IT policy is that in the first IT policy, as the MC also was reminding us, we had announced that we will double our IT development output and jobs, etc., in 5 years period. In 2014, this appeared to be a very audacious goal to announce because at that point, as many of you will recall, the state had just come through a difficult bifurcation process. In fact, just before the bifurcation, there were agitations, there were disturbances, and it was not very sure whether the IT industry will withstand all those kind of the rough weather and whether it will grow and what kind of leadership, what kind of political leadership, what kind of administrative support will be provided to that industry. So in a context of uncertainty and questions, to announce that I will go ahead and double our exports, etc., in those days sounded very audacious, but we have 7 years of experience behind us. I don't have to repeat the numbers, etc. We have easily achieved the target. I mean, in many ways, it has been a cakewalk for us. And of course, a large part of that responsibility has been played by you because our minister keeps telling that our existing players are our biggest brand ambassadors. If they put a good word, we don't have to really create some additional hype and put some kind of a magic to bring companies here. Our existing brand ambassadors will do this work for us. And this is exactly what is happening. But now what I feel a bit concerned about is that in the second IT policy, the same goal has been, the same target has been given to us, that we will repeat it, we'll double it further. So, of course, while we were able to double it once, the opportunity to double it twice, while it is very attractive, very kind of encouraging, but it has its own challenges, it has its own kind of efforts that we need to put in. So the way we are now figuring out is that we have to, of course, live up to that expectation. We have to meet the reality, make it a reality. And the way we are now looking at is that we are disaggregating the IT sector. We are thinking of every vertical as just as you do your own, every unit or every vertical is a separate business unit, is a separate cost unit, and it has its own targets. That is the way we are looking at this issue. It's a good problem to have, but the practical way of solving this problem is as follows. So I see some people from the BFSI sector. I'll give that as an example. We feel that BFSI, which already creates large part of the IT growth and the numbers and the employment that the city has, an estimate is that almost 60% of the IT industry is, the contribution to that IT industry comes from the BFSI sector. So we have recently decided that all the existing BFSI players will be consolidated into a consortium, and the consortium will do multiple things. It will work out on the talent requirement for that sector. Those BFSI companies which are not in Hyderabad or who are not in India, this consortium will work with the government to motivate them to come here. They will be the face of all these outreach activities. Because when the government says something, of course, we have a strong credibility now, so people do listen to us, believe us. But when the industry says the same thing, obviously the ability to make a strong impression is enhanced manifold. And of course, the larger ecosystem, creating that larger ecosystem, working with startups, which Barney pointed out, working with other ecosystem knowledge players, etc., centers of excellence and so on, all that will be done by that consortium. So we are now looking at 10 such consortiums. BFSI is one. Companies which are, let us say, into cyber security, we form a consortium with them. SaaS companies, there's another consortium. Animation and gaming, there's another consortium. Services companies into other consortium. Artificial intelligence, ML, another consortium. So like that, we are looking at about 10 such consortiums which are supported by the government, but this is the template. That first of all, you yourself grow and expand, which will be the most welcome thing for us. But you also help us attract other players, and if you have, as a consortium, if there are some sectoral issues. So for example, the BFSI sector consortium pointed this out to us, that there are no earmarked or tailor-made BFSI courses which are offered in our colleges. So now we are working with them to suggest what kind of courses will be required, which colleges can offer, and what role can task play, and so on and so forth. So all these things, I would like all other sectors also to follow the same template, the same roadmap, and help us, because this is something very unique. I mean, there are, as I said, other IT hubs in the country also, but no one else is thinking on these lines. In most of the other places, the IT growth is happening despite the government and not really because of the government. But we want to really be different. We want to make a difference. We want to be counted. We want to become a role model, not just for the country, but for all over the world. And the 7 years of achievements have really given us that kind of confidence that we can do it. And the great relations that we enjoy with industry bodies like HYSEA is a very foundational kind of a thing, because unless we enjoy trust with the industry, a good rapport with the industry, all these things that I'm talking about, they will only remain a kind of a pipe dream. So we would like to work more closely, more collaboratively with HYSEA on all these frontiers that I spoke about. And I'm very happy, as I said, for all the people who are going to receive their awards. I'm particularly happy that Lifetime Achievement Award is being bestowed to J. Chaudhary Garu. As all of us would know, he was the founding director of STPI, and roughly 30 years ago, it is because of his efforts that Hyderabad also started, though it was a late start. Today, of course, I don't want to run down any other city, and also I'm conscious that Mr. Subramaniam is sitting here, who is not from this place, and if I say something, he may tell his TCS bosses not to support Hyderabad anymore. But the only reason why a couple of other cities are considered today to be bigger than Hyderabad, better than Hyderabad, is only because of the early start that they had. There's no other reason. In fact, again, I don't want to name names or anything, but I mean, the kind of negativity they have today, the kind of hostility they see, those cities see today, I mean, that is unbelievable. So we have a lot going for us. And as I said, if we all put our act together, work collaboratively, support each other, this is going to be a great game changer for the entire IT industry. And we never fail to point this out, that IT industry is the jewel of our crown. While Telangana has done great things in multiple respects, what we have achieved in this sector, the kind of economic buoyancy it has brought, the kind of employment it has created, the kind of multiplier effect it has had on the society is tremendous. We will always see you with that kind of respect, that kind of admiration. And once again, good wishes to all of you. Thank you very much.
One line that I'm going to take away is, in spite of the government versus because of the government. That's a very beautiful phrase you put up there. Thank you so much. In a lot of fields and sectors, there is a barrage of new questions, but technology is unique in a way because there are times when the questions remain the same. It's just that the solutions or the answers need to change. And to talk about that, we have our keynote speaker who's going to be throwing light on new ways and new answers. And to introduce Mr. N.G. Subramaniam, I invite on stage Mr. R. Srinivas Rao, COO, HYSEA.
Good evening, everyone. It's my privilege and honor to introduce an industry giant and a titan like N. Ganapathy Subramaniam, NGS, as he is popularly known. He is the Chief Operating Officer of TCS since February 2017. He is also an Additional Director and Chairman of Tata Elxsi Limited since November 2014. Prior to taking this role, NGS served as the Executive Vice President and Head of TCS Financial Solutions. We all know how TCS is well known for their strength in this area. It's an SBU of TCS, and he was responsible there for steering the nonlinear growth strategies, products and platform businesses of TCS for over 5 years. He held many key leadership positions in TCS across client delivery, business development, integration of businesses, and product development. As head of BFSI practice for TCS for close to 5 years, he was instrumental in consolidating TCS's knowledge base, calibrating the domain-centric offerings. This is where industry eventually moved, as most of you know, creating opportunities and laid the foundation for verticalization of the organization. In steering TCS Financial Solutions, he led the company's efforts in launching a suite of products for banking, capital product markets, and insurance domains. TCS banks, many of which have become world-class solutions used by major financial institutions globally. He's been an integral part of TCS and the Indian IT industry for the past 39 years, nearly 4 decades, ladies and gentlemen. He has played a strategic role in several landmark projects that TCS undertook across geographies all over the world. He has in-depth knowledge on technology trends and systems policies of leading corporations. As a thought leader, he has spoken in global conferences and actively interacts and shapes opinion among industry analysts. He joined TCS in 1982 after completing his master's in mathematics from University of Madras and has had the benefit of attending various training programs, including the executive program for growing companies at Stanford. Born in 1959, NGS lives with his wife Shobna and 2 sons in Bangalore. An avid reader and keen supporter of community initiatives, he enjoys classical music, long walks, and nature. So thank you, sir, for taking time and joining us today. We really feel privileged and honored. I now request you to deliver your lecture, The IT Industry, New Ways, New Answers. Over to you.
Good evening. Shri Jayesh Ranjan, absolutely inspiring, sir, what you said. The government's support to the IT industry here is well known. And I just want to thank you and the government of Telangana for consistently supporting the cause of IT and related industries. I want to thank you for this. Shri Ram Prasad, Mr. Bharani, my industry colleagues, members from the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute honor to be with all of you on this occasion when HYSEA has just completed about 30 years, and this is the 29th HYSEA Annual Day celebrations. And I must also thank Mr. Bharani for inviting me to this function. And I must confess that I accepted it with some amount of trepidation to speak amongst the cream de la cream of the industry and the growth and the diversity of the IT industry in Hyderabad. Coming to Hyderabad is always stimulating for me. I still remember, sir, when Cyberabad was bare land. We came, I personally came with the Swiss architect Mario Botta to construct our building, which was at that particular point in time the largest building that we had in TCS. And we have since then grown a lot. Hyderabad as a city is, it has its charm. It has a lot of tradition. It has skillful artisans who have their own way of building a guild. And we have the beautiful lake, Hussain Sagar. And I also, the city has, over a period of time, has attracted the best of talent, the best of companies across the world, both Indian as well as multinational companies. And they all do some extraordinary piece of work, not just technology and operations. And I'm proud to see that there is a phenomenal amount of product development happens, research and development happens. A number of patents get filed. And I have no doubt, given the environment that I am seeing from my perspective, the intellectual property that's going to get created out of Hyderabad is going to be second to none, and it's only going to be on the increase. From a TCS perspective, I think, we have been here long enough. We are currently about 64,000 plus employees and growing. Very early days, we set up a systems and cybernetics engineering center in Hyderabad. And more recently, we housed the FC Kohli Center for Intelligent Systems here. So whenever I'm in Hyderabad, I could feel the breath of fresh air, an air of curiosity, some original thinking, and above all, a can-do attitude of people at large that is quite refreshing. So over the next 15 minutes or so, what I will try to cover is, more than covering, I think I would like to share my perspectives on what I see in the world of IT, what I hear from our clients, and what is the path that they are laying for themselves, and what does it mean for us as an industry. Is there something that we can change? Is there a different perspective that we can bring in to this particular world? So to begin with, let me talk about the economic and industry environment briefly. See, last January, we all know that we are still in the pandemic world. We had a very mild, compared to the wave 2, we had a mild, just finished about the wave 1 of the pandemic. And then we saw the vaccination program from the government, and it was coming, and we were all waiting for it. And we thought that normalcy is around the corner. And then the wave 2 came, and it was quite sharp. And the impact for us as an industry, as a country, as a society was quite severe. And many lost their lives. For the industry, along with the government, I think we all rose to the occasion, individually and collectively, to support the community that we serve. New hospitals came in. Several of our development centers converted into COVID care centers. We invested in oxygen plants, ventilators, and supported the medical fraternity and the frontline workers at large as a true spirit of Indianness. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, compliment all of you and the government for rising to that occasion and prioritizing people's safety and be meaningful to the society at large. India seemed to have recovered from that, and we seem to be in a okay situation at this point in time. Everything around us seemed to be under control. We are having physical events like this. Airports seem to be pretty normal. Whether it's international flights or domestic flights seem to be going full. So people have realized the fact that the onus is on them, onus is on each one of us to take adequate precautions and keep the economy going and keep the normalcy going But having said that, the Omicron is around. Many nations are taking steps, and I'm sure that India will have to take some steps so that the intensity of the variants is not highly impacting the society. So the normalcy right now depends on how Omicron is going to affect the world at large and India more specifically, and the efficacy of the vaccines and the booster shots. If you look at financial year 1920, it was a big impact for many of us. Most businesses got affected. The 2021 was a kind of a year of resilience. We all rallied behind each other, then we proved ourselves. It was a year of resilience. But at the same time, businesses started to grow. Uptick was there, seen. And most businesses faced supply chain bottlenecks. Many of our customers faced it. Energy prices are rising, and all this means that it's quite likely that the inflation will inch up. And we are seeing that already, and it is likely to continue at least for the good part of 2022. At least that's what many economists feel, and many in the government also feel that the inflation is going to be inching up based on these factors and the consumption patterns that one sees. From an IT industry perspective, I think there is a very strong demand environment, no doubt about it. And the recovery of the IT industry is seen, and almost every organization, whether you are in the services side of it, startups, or the product side of it, are consuming technology in an unprecedented velocity. That's something that we see. That augurs well for India as a country. That augurs well for the youth of India. There is a huge number of people that we are expecting to come out of their colleges every year. And over the next 3-4 years, I think that demand environment is likely to stay like this. And we called that out fairly early, as TCS, saying that, look, we are going to see an unprecedented demand, unprecedented consumption of digital technology across the world. So on this backdrop, let me speak a little bit about the IT industry, and I know that I'll probably be carrying coal to Newcastle here. As an industry, we have earned the respect of global corporations. Not only global corporations, I think public institutions and the governments across the globe, they respect the industry that we have created in India. They respect the talent pool that we have, and most of them rely on the Indian talent that we have here or elsewhere to grow and be relevant to their customer base. We pursued quality as a competitive strategy way back. And along with time to market and cost, we have been a significant value creator for our clients across the globe. We continue to be part of their growth and transformation agenda. For example, many of us, many companies here and elsewhere, we are working with the pharmaceutical companies across the globe for their drug discovery, including vaccines, and help them go through the compliance aspects of clinical trials and taking to the market the products as speedily as possible. We are working with several auto majors and OEMs in their pursuits towards autonomous and electric vehicles. We are helping global financial institutions launch neobanks with purpose-driven digital products and solutions, embedding touchless, contactless, invisible banking services. The financial district here is the location of choice for many global financial institutions, including our own ICICI. They all leverage talent from this part of the world for variety of work, be it technology or operations, including proximity to the startup ecosystem, T-Hub. The list goes on, right? And these are all not small efforts. I think we have made ourselves extremely relevant. We have kept ourselves continuously upskilled, have adopted processes and technologies to stay relevant as we traversed the journey over several decades. So let me look at from a client and prospects perspective. Based on my interactions with a number of our clients, CXOs, CIOs, I've noticed a few trends, which I thought that I'll outline here. Many of them want to balance innovation and optimization. Everybody is invested heavily on digital. For them, digital innovation, interactiveness, instantaneousness, I think they are a bit tired. But they also see that it is very essential. They also see that optimization has to continue. So most of them whom I talked to in the last few months, they all feel that innovation is important, but optimization is even more important, given the environment in which we are operating. Cloud adoption and cloud transformation is certainly a very, very important item. Most of our clients, they adopted cloud initially for the infrastructure. They all felt that, look, yes, I'm going to adopt. I'm going to move everything to the cloud. When they moved infrastructure to the cloud, it was very easy for them. And they could actually see that it has quickly become a shareable asset. They could connect to the infrastructure from everywhere. And then they went through the process of moving the applications into the infrastructure, and then applications become a shareable asset. So they realized that now that applications are there, now they are seeing that data has become a shareable asset. So the fact that infrastructure, applications, and data all have become a shareable asset, they are now rethinking how the systems have to be architected. What does cloud nativity means? What does cloud interoperability means? And how do I quickly make myself available or make my technology speak to somebody else fairly quickly? So the cloud adoption and cloud transformation is going to be there for, in my opinion, a few years, or at least I see a 10-year ahead lap. Because whatever they have accomplished in their own experience, in their own organizations across the globe, is probably minuscule. Probably 5%, 6% of their applications is what probably have moved to the cloud. There is so much headroom left for us. So I see cloud as an important element of growth for all of us. And the fact that we need to do more. A lot of us have created methodologies, toolkits, etc. But then that's not enough. The third part is, I think, algorithms and intelligent operations or intelligent automation, right? Many have adopted automation in a big way, and most believe that automation is the key for their success during this pandemic period. It has helped them to manage the peaks of transaction load and also help them in many ways to expand their own operations or consolidate operations from one location to the other location and so on. And I also feel that the automation has led to new ways of structuring businesses. And I will probably talk a little bit more about it later as a part of our response, what we think that we should respond. More importantly, the next trend that I see or what I hear from my customers, their own new product development has significantly changed. The process that they adopt has significantly changed. What I mean by that, for example, if you take a car to be developed, they used to follow a process of left to right. What are the features I need to load in that car? And for this particular segment, I think these cars are important. In this particular segment, already these cars are available, these cars have these features, so I need to do more than what they need or what they have. So they load the features, and then they go through a design, and then they go through a cost element, and then see what can be cut, how it can be optimized, and then price it, and then launch it, and then people experience it. Now, when you do that, sometimes the cars become successful, or sometimes the cars are not accepted very well in the marketplace. Now, most of them are going through a process of what they told me as right to left, which essentially means that, no, I want to develop a car, then I'm going to talk to the guys who are going to be using that car. What is the experience that they want to have while driving that car? What is the experience that they want to have while buying that car? What is the experience that they want to have as a post-service? And then start from there, work backwards. And then you figure out that not all features that you originally thought that is really required, because they don't need those features. They don't need all those features. For them, what is required is this. So the process is really one from right to left, as opposed to left to right. In that context, experiential design is going to be very important for all of us, and I will talk a little bit more about it. I think lastly, security, data privacy, cyber, ransomware attacks, fraud, they're all high on their angst agenda. Okay. Irrespective of what you do, what we operate in, however successful we have been in operating remotely, this particular aspect of angst is still not fully resolved, is not fully out of their mind. So given this backdrop of what I've heard from the customers and what likely to be the operating model or focus areas or priorities for them, what is it that we all need to do, or what are the opportunities that we have as industry players? I think the first one I will say is artificial intelligence is for real. I'm still a software engineer at heart, having spent close to about 40 years in the industry. And I have this habit of really figuring out when a new technology comes. The best way to figure out is you learn it, you actually program with it, you figure out what it means. So I did learn to write algorithms. Then I truly believe that the artificial intelligence is for real, and today, by creating a number of algorithms and then connecting it, I could create a cobot for myself. The beauty of that cobot is that it learns from me. It learns how I do certain things. And the onus is on me to make sure that the cobot is behaving responsibly, all of it. And the beauty of it is that the knowledge of NGS as a professional can actually stay with the organization even if I leave my organization. So I do believe that the artificial intelligence is for real. And based on my own experience of having developed my cobot, I believe for 30 to 50%, you pick the number, 30 to 50% of what we do today as an IT services player in a system development lifecycle, 30 to 50%. You pick up the number, I will go even further. Will not be required to be done by a human. The opportunity is there. It's up to us to embrace it if we want to embrace it. And the potential, when you put something like that, is huge. It will create a huge momentum, huge velocity, huge productivity, and reliability. And I am a true believer in concluding that artificial intelligence is for real. And I concluded that design and empathy are for the humans. Rest all can be algorithms. That's the potential and power of that technology. So when you do all of it, the second thing is that we need to master, I think Bharani mentioned about productization of our services. I think we need to master the art of SaaS, anything as a service. How do you price it? How do you price services in a consumption-based model? Several of our products and services that we offer are currently ripe for disruption. And I would encourage us to disrupt it ourselves rather than somebody else comes and disrupts it. And by disruption, I mean that, for example, if certain parts of what we do as a company or as a professional, if it needs to be priced, currently we are pricing it per day, per hour, per whatever it is. But how do I convert it as a shared service? How do I charge it on a consumption-driven model? Is an area that I think we have to learn and we have to work on that. And given the right to left shift that's happening, I truly believe technology skills alone are not sufficient. I believe that the industry will need to adopt several skill sets, like behavioral sciences, psychology, design and user experience is one we are scratching the surface right now, accessibility, sustainability, toxicology. Many of these skill sets are going to be absolutely required at the very early stages of any system development lifecycle activities that we will all be doing. And the onus is also on us to develop architectures, design patterns, which are highly scalable. But if you look at most of our clients, they all want to become a technology company. Why do they want to become a technology company? Because they like the startups. They like the platforms. They like the fact that they are able to address 1 billion people as their customer base when you put a platform on the cloud. They would like to have the similar capability and capacity. So we can't look at it from, okay, I'm also developing a software, but it's very important to develop architectures which are modern, which are cloud native, cloud interoperative, and highly scalable, and give customers the opportunity to target 1 billion plus people as their customers. The next one which I will look at is the what I call as teams of the future. Not the Microsoft Teams collaboration tool, but today we staff every project by roles. This role requires this person. Person by person we are staffing. The future, I believe, is going to be one of staffing the teams. We need to have teams, that agile teams. Those agile teams will build specialization of themselves, will build knowledge of themselves. They will have their own chemistry. As a team that they'll be able to start square one and jump to square 5 and square 30 and get the job done quickly. The future is going to be like, okay, I need 10 agile teams. And those agile teams, again, today, people may ask for their capacity, we still end up staffing them one by one. But our processes and methodologies and the internal ways of doing business is likely to undergo a massive change in terms of creating cohesive teams who will work together well, who knows that context in which that particular project is to be developed, and deliver that with a lot of speed and alacrity. The next one I'll say is digital and data. I already talked about it. I think digital and data is going to be there for the next foreseeable future. Next 10 years, it will keep on maturing. What we have accomplished is probably very little. We have certain frameworks, certain algorithms, certain tools, but then the power of data, starting with our own data as a company, is going to be huge. 5G is another technology. 5G is advancing and 6G is already on the work. I think every product that we see in the marketplace today will learn to communicate with other product. Every product, that machine-to-machine interaction, machine-to-machine communication, it's nothing new. It's been on the talks for quite some time. In some advanced countries, I have seen that already operating. But it will achieve a degree of scale which will be unprecedented. In 3GPP and 1M, 2M, we have defined a set of standards for machine-to-machine interaction. And what does that mean is, we all know, we have heard about system of records and system of experience. When products communicate with each other and algorithms at play, you have the opportunity to compute on the edge. When such computing on the edge takes place, people will worry only about the experience, and the computing on the edge can actually feed the transaction data to the system of records. So in a few years' time, I believe that the system of records will be existing, but nobody will be using it. Every transaction that goes into the system of record, I believe will get pumped in as a set of data streams and data feeds, and that will keep on updating the bookings that we need. Yes, you will generate the regulatory reports out of that. Yes, you will generate the balance sheet and profit and losses out of that, but you don't need people to enter anything in the system of records, because everything the services industry will do or customers would want is about systems of experiences, and many of them will be automated at large. The startups ecosystem in India has taken a lot of leaf out, a lot of vibrancy is taking place. It's only a question of time before we hit a series of unicorns from India. And I think, as a services industry, we have the opportunity to work with them more closely, more aggressively, bring the industry perspective to the startups, and embed them into the products and services that we provide to a variety of our customers. I think that will be a big help that we can extend to the startup community. when I talk to the CXOs and some of the younger professionals, one particular common topic that's coming is sustainability and environment. People want to know what is your commitment to sustainability. And more often than not, I think, I see that our clients would like to understand what is our sustainability agenda. And if you don't have one, it may be a hygiene issue that you will probably miss out. So I think, we need to have a very broader agenda on sustainability. We need to have a broader agenda on environment and ecology. At TCS, I'm pleased to say that we have a goal of becoming net neutral by 2025 and becoming net zero by 2030. And we are approaching it pretty much bottom up. And 4 of our countries where we operate today will become carbon neutral by end of this year, by this 31st of December. Thank you. The supply situation on the skills front in the more recent times is concerning. And we need to reimagine our own people and career proposition. The expectations of the younger generation is quite interesting. I can't wait to work under them. As a manager, I think they'll be the most demanding people that you will ever come across. I recently met with one of the youngsters who joined us as a process of induction. And one of them told me, NGS, that it's great that I get an opportunity to meet with you. But I want to ask you one thing. Do I have the opportunity at TCS to become you in half the time that it took for you to get there? That's the kind of aspiration that they have. And that struck me, and I think, we need to appreciate that fact, and we need to appreciate the fact that, they have huge aspirations. And the onus is on us to lay the ways by which they can do it. Lastly, I think the industry has been able to operate remotely during the pandemic. And we all have been able to deliver on the promises that we all made to our customers. And I take this opportunity to congratulate each one of the companies, each one of the IT professional, because doing that remotely for a sustained period of time and delivering on each one of the processes is highly commendable. My own perspective on this is the future is going to be hybrid. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but it's very likely that it's going to be hybrid. We have come out as a company and put in place a very bold operating model called 25 by 25, which we believe that 25% of the workforce, if at any point in time is in offices, the rest can actually operate remotely and still we'll be able to achieve many things that we want to accomplish. But while we are now operating at almost 95% remote, why are you setting up a low bar of 25% is the question that many people ask me. But I think, there is a lot of things that we have to get it right, including compliance aspects, including, some of the regulations that we need to work. We'll have to think through many of the issues that we are facing today, because we're all working remotely, so it doesn't matter where you are located. We all build them from one location, but people are located in multiple locations. So we'll have to see what are the compliance aspects of it, number one. Number two is that our own clients' commitment to this kind of a model is going to be very key. So we believe that we will bring majority of the workforce back to offices, define the whole operating model, integrating the business continuity plan, because to me, work from home or remotely is a business continuity option. When pandemic struck India, none of our business continuity plans worked. Because the business continuity plans assumed that people will be available in another country or in another location. But the fact was, people are not available. The locations were available, but people are not available. So the working remotely was the only option. So in that context, that business continuity plans will have to imbibe working remotely as an integral part of that exercise. So ladies and gentlemen, here are what I tried to cover is what I learned from the industry, what I learned from our clients, from my own employees, people. Pleased that I could share some of these insights with you, and I'm still learning. Thank you all very much. Merry Christmas, season's greetings, and best wishes for a new year.
Thank you so much, sir. My page ran out of space as I was noting down things left to right, right to left, empathy, anything as a service, customer experience, behavioral science, staffing by role, shifting to staffing by teams. So much to ponder. Thank you so much, sir. Now, most times when it's time to announce a Lifetime Achievement Award, we expect somebody closer to their professional sunset to step in and collect it. But today it's going to be a little different. Our award winner is energetic, active, and has a task list that can put a 20-year-old to shame. So to introduce the Lifetime Achievement Award, I invite on stage Ms. Manisha Sabu, AVP and Center Head, Pocharam and Indore Campus from Infosys.
Sir, it's a privilege to introduce you. You are not just an individual, but an institution. Mr. J. Chaudhary, the chairman of Indian Blockchain Standards Committee and the founding member of Succeed Innovation Fund, is a visionary and a passionate technology enthusiast, credited with playing a role in building Hyderabad as a cyber city. J. Chaudhary Garu, hailing from a small village, Battalapalli, in a drought-prone district, Anantapuramlu, started his career journey armed with double master from IIT Madras and SK University. He witnessed a phenomenal career transformation that began as a college teacher, then a scientist in ISRO, went on to be a bureaucrat with Government of India, then a technocrat, an entrepreneur, and eventually a serial inventor and an investor and mentor. His stellar contribution in placing India on the global IT map started as the founding director of Software Technology Parks of India in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai. As a founding member of STPI Hyderabad, Mr. Chaudhary worked tirelessly beyond call of duty to attract multinational companies, top talent, and investments to Hyderabad. With his effort in 1991, Maitrivanam, Huda complex at Amirpet, which many of us remember as the hub of IT in Hyderabad, when IT started in Hyderabad, he worked tirelessly to make this Huda complex epicenter and foundation of Hyderabad IT industry. He was instrumental in working with government of combined Andhra Pradesh and Government of India in architecting and building a conducive ecosystem that brought IT investments to Hyderabad during the early years of Hyderabad to Hyderabad transformation. HYSEA was Mr. Chaudhary's brainchild and was formed as an association of IT companies that would help in problem solving of the IT industry during its nascent stage. He was also instrumental in establishing American Chamber of Commerce, AMCAM, chapter in Hyderabad just before US President Clinton's visit to Hyderabad. As the president of TIE Hyderabad, he played an important role in creating a vibrant startup ecosystem through TIE and ISB Connect platform. He co-founded Hyderabad Angels to help the early stage startup ecosystem to get necessary funding. He has also played a key role in conceptualizing the formation of IIIT Hyderabad, which has become India's premier tech institution of excellence. Mr. Chaudhary's entrepreneurial journey started when he co-founded Portal Player, which designed the silicon chips which went into the first generation Apple iPod. Portal Player was listed at NASDAQ and was subsequently acquired by NVIDIA, where he continued as Managing Director of India Operations till 2009. Subsequently, he co-founded and chaired Talent Sprint, a deep tech educational organization, till 2015. He also co-founded FinTech Valley Vizag and International Institute of Digital Technologies, that is IIADT, during his role as Special Chief Secretary and IT advisor to Government of Andhra Pradesh. Mr. Chaudhary is respected in IT fraternity as an enabler who has used his skills to connect people, a professional who goes out of his way to make things happen on the broader landscape. Today, he is on the board of a few listed and deep tech startup companies and mentors multiple tech startups. His latest interest is in bringing safe and natural food products to humanity through his organic and herbal farms in Anantapuramlu. HYSEA is privileged and honored to present this Lifetime Achievement Award to Bhishma Pitamaha of Hyderabad IT fraternity, Mr. Chaudhary, and wishes him many more years of energetic journey, helping and mentoring many IT startups during his innovation era. Sir, we are privileged to have you on the stage.
I'll take it.
Good evening, Honorable Principal IT Secretary, Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu, Mr. Subramaniam, COO TCS, my friends from the industry, Bharani, President of HYSEA, and Ram Prasad, Director STPI, all the distinguished invitees, and my family members from HYSEA, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award from my own family. I treat HYSEA as my extended family. In fact, it's not just one person responsible. I still remember those good old days where HYSEA, STPI, and state government, the then combined state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, we used to work as one team. There never used to be a difference that any programs. That's how we were running those activities. Since Jayesh Ranjan has to leave for some other important work, I want to tell you how we started the journey way back in 90s and what were the difficulties. There's I don't know how many people have watched a film called Lagan. How many people? Good. Similar to Lagan, we had a Lagan team, and I was a non-playing captain. Why I was a non-playing captain? Because being in the government, I cannot be heading the industry association. I was the one who proposed to the industry. They were not at all willing to start an association. They were telling me, Jay, why do you require association when you are giving the import licenses, export licenses, just within 24 hours we are getting all the approvals. We don't have any problems whatsoever. Why do you require association? But I literally forced them. The initial phase I was not able to convince. But there's one big problem happened during that time. Very interesting problem. Because of the problem which happened to the STP units in Maitrivanam, because of that they accepted my request to start an association. That's how association took its place. Can you imagine what was the problem? Can anybody, how many people are here who joined HYSEA during 90s? Anybody here? I know Nari, Narasimha Rao, and maybe Shakti if he's around. And Rajana. Maybe is anybody who has joined HYSEA during 90s? None. In that case, you may not be knowing. The big problem which enabled HYSEA to get its birth after 9 months of pains was one problem. It's called the lift problem. The lift has lifted HYSEA. See what was happening during 91, I think we occupied Maitrivanam. The entire building was empty, and we took four floors, and everything was going good. Suddenly, one day, the lift stopped working. That time, R.P. Agarwal was the vice chairman and managing director of HUDA. I complained to him. He sent some maintenance people. They were not able to bring it back. They tried their level best, and I complained to the then, there was no IT secretary that time, industry secretary, Mr. Harinarayan. Harinarayan also tried his level best to see how that lift could be operated. But unfortunately, or fortunately, there were employees in the 6th floor, particularly VVR Mohan Reddy's office was in the 6th floor, and he used to always, Mr. Chowdhury, what is this, what is happening? I have some of my employees are pregnant women, some of the employees are handicapped. How can you think that they can walk across 6 floors and come to my office? So those days, no work from home, this kind of infrastructure was not there. So I was not knowing how to solve this problem. Though it is a small problem for many, but for us it was all other problems were very, very easy. There was no internet when I started STP operations in Hyderabad. No data communication facilities whatsoever. But we got the earth station. We got all those things easily. But this small problem, which is become a big problem, that is a lift problem. I don't know what to do. Then one of the visits of Sri N. Vittal, who was my secretary, Department of Electronics. He was my boss. Normally, whenever we used to go in his car, he used to be called as a dictaphone secretary. Those days, no cell phones like what we have today. He used to carry always a dictaphone. Whenever there is a problem, whenever I used to tell, oh, this is not working, that's not working, immediately he used to take his dictaphone. He used to dictate a letter to the concerned secretaries or some of the joint secretaries in Department of Electronics. He asked me one of those visits, Mr. Chaudhary, how is everything? How is the STP operations? I said, thank you, sir, for granting me the satellite station. And we are able to get internet, and we are able to serve the software export industry very well. Do you have any other problems? I said, I was hesitant, because if I tell about lift problem, what is this, such a senior government officer, he is not able to solve a simple problem like a lift problem. So, but that was a big problem for me. Industry was complaining about it. Finally, I had to say, sir, there is one small problem. What is that? The lift in our Maitrivanam building is not working for several months. Many employees are facing. You did not complain to the local people? No, sir, all that is over. The whatever limits that I had, whatever reach I have, I finished all that, and I don't know what to do. Then he asked me, what is the manufacturer? Who is the manufacturer? Sir, that manufacturer, I was told he is out of Gujarat. Oh, if it is out of Gujarat, I will immediately talk to the Chief Secretary of Gujarat government and see that they send somebody from Gujarat. That's how he immediately dictated a letter to the Chief Secretary of Government of Gujarat for a lift problem, and the Chief Secretary from Gujarat government and saw to that those company people come all the way with all the equipment, spare parts, everything, and they were able to rectify. That's when I went back to my industry friends. See, this kind of problems may come. Today you may not have any problems, but it is better to have an association so that if association is there, my hands also get strengthened. So why don't you create an association? That's how the association got formed. HYSEA took its birth during that time, only because there was a lift problem in Maitrivanam. Why I said the Lagan film, I don't know how many people have watched why that Bhuvan, that Amir Khan, starts learning cricket. He was not happy to do all that, but he was forced to do that. Similarly, the association, they were forced to create the association because there was a problem. Again, there are a lot of similarities between that Lagan film and HYSEA. Initially, when we started the HYSEA as an association, no takers, no members whatsoever, and all the committee meetings used to happen in my office in STPI, and none of them were coming for the meetings. Said we don't have any problems, and they were not showing any interest whatsoever. So, initial first 1 year or 2 years, I don't remember how many years, we kept no fee. HYSEA membership fee, there is a 0 membership fee, but still people were not becoming members of, because what is that they get out of becoming a member of HYSEA? That's how we started the journey. Like Lagan team, we also won, but we won the local games that time. The local Indian tournaments, we were competing ourselves with Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Delhi. So all those games we were able to compete and also win those games against those IT destinations in the country. But since Jayesh Ranjan is here, sir, now from Lagan team, how we started way back in 90s, now we have come to a stage, you have to create you already have an IPL team, and you have got a great captain like Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and definitely you should take it international. Our competition should not be within the country. Our competition can be with directly head-on with the Silicon Valley of America. So it is possible. The way we are seeing the innovation companies, I was just noticing some of the companies in the stalls, they got beautiful products, beautiful services. In fact, through our Succeed Innovation Fund, we invested in about nearly 65 startups. I'm sure many of these 65 startups will be maybe the unicorns. As it is, you must have noticed in the last quarter, India became #2 in terms of producing the tech unicorns. And if that trend continues, I think Silicon Valley definitely will come to India. And I'm sure with the support from Government of Telangana, with the enthusiasm shown by startup companies in and around Hyderabad, and support from HYSEA, definitely we will be able to lead this journey through this IPL team to become the leader in the knowledge industry, leader in the technology industry, and I am sure in the next era, which is supposed to be quantum era because of the quantum computing, as Mr. Subramaniam was also mentioning in his speech. In the quantum computing, quantum era, it's the mathematics and physics. These two are going to be, and he also mentioned about algorithms. Algorithms, mathematics, physics. These three are going to lead the quantum computing era. If only Hyderabad concentrates building those expertise in those areas, building algorithms, knowledge, it should become algorithm city of the world. It should become mathematics city of the world. It should become physics city of the world. And automatically, Hyderabad becomes the quantum valley of the world. And with this, I once again thank HYSEA for giving me this opportunity to receive this very prestigious award, Lifetime Achievement Award. As I said, this award is not just for me, it's for my team. I request my team members also to come and be with me, particularly all the HYSEA past presidents. I request all of them to come here. And if there are any STPA employees other than Mr. Ram Prasad, because STPA has also played a crucial role, and we have Jayesh Ranjan, if there are any other state government employees here, because it's a combination of three important departments, government, state government, central government, and the industry together, we made it what we are witnessing today. Millions of families are getting jobs, wealth creation is happening. Because of IT industry today, real estate industries are benefiting, hospitality industries are benefiting, even the healthcare industries are benefiting. Every economy we are touching because of the knowledge industry. And I request all of them to come here because it's a teamwork. And my Lagan team has to be with me to receive this award. I request the organizers if they can bring my Lagan team, if not all the 11 players, at least whoever is available, if they can come here, so that I would like to have my award sharing along with them. Please come. Please come. Please, all the past presidents of HYSEA, STP employees, and one thing please come, please come. I also want to dedicate this award to 3 families.
I would request you to invite all the MC members because
Yeah, yeah. I request all the MC members of HYSEA also to come onto the dais. I want to dedicate this prestigious award first to my Jakkambudi family, second, my extended family, HYSEA and STPI. Third, the most important is my friends' families. I want to dedicate, I am here talking to you, all of you on this stage because of my friends and their well-wishers. And I want to really thank all of them for giving a continuous encouragement. And somebody was asking in TV5 live discussions about 1 hour ago, how do you get this energy? I used to tell them, in Ramayana, we had Wali. I don't know how many people know about the character Wali in Ramayana. Even Ravana, when he went in front of Wali, Ravana used to get defeated by Wali because he had a word from Brahma. Whoever goes in front of Wali, he takes 50% of their energy. That's the reason why Lord Rama also have to, from behind a tree, he has to send that arrow, because he himself was afraid of Wally because he takes 50% of Rama's energy. So I use the Wally's technology. Because of that, even at age of 66, I am still active, young, and energetic. And my next journey, which is my nirvana journey, I want to see many tech billionaires, the startup companies, all of them have to create wealth for the nation and also create jobs for the nation. With this, I once again thank HYSEA for giving me this great award. I am really enjoying to be with this scenario. I mean, very, very difficult to explain how happy I am. Thank you so much.
May I request Jay Garu's family to come onto the stage, please? Ravi, thank you. Please, please. It's a moment that every family member, Jay was just only talking about the HYSEA family, but we also have to respect his own personal family to come and celebrate this occasion.
Right, check. So this is indeed a special moment, trust me. When you have stayed in the industry for around more than 3 decades, this is the kind of extended family that you managed to build. And if you look at it, it's so ironic that the real family came in at the end. So this is how he seems to have built his entire network, creating associations and organizations all through his journey. So a special moment indeed, and lovely to have you here, sir. An absolute privilege to see you win this award. Equally a privilege to see the family that seems to have supported him to reach out and create this kind of an impact on the entire industry. And the city thanks you for that. Lovely having you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now it's that time of the evening when we call out all those who have outlived all the expectations and created a mark and place for themselves this past year. Yes, I'm talking about the HYSEA Export Award for the year 2021. And to announce the same, let me welcome on stage Mr. Kiran Cherukuri, VP HYSEA and CEO TechEra IT Consulting. Okay, so it's time for the awards. All the people who have participated in this competition, I'm pretty sure, are on their toes. All yours.
Yeah, we have just felicitated the Bhishma Pitamaha. So now it is technology, industry Pitamahas actually is going to come now. So as you all know, Hyderabad Software Enterprise Association, in association with STPI Hyderabad, together recognize the best performing IT, ITES companies operating out of Hyderabad every year. And there are two categories in which the awards are given. One is on the export awards. This is based on the export earnings for each financial year as ascertained by SEZ and an STPI. And we also have product awards actually which follows the export awards. So for the export awards, we have a separate categories, MNCs and GICs, Indian IT service providers, small and medium enterprises. These are three categories in which actually the export awards are given. This year, we have changed, we have taken the help of KPMG, Assurance and Consulting Services, who played a crucial role in advising us on the process, also helping us and evaluating the awards for the year. So HYSEA, earlier I think a majority of you who are there who has been receiving the award years together, actually there is a head award, so which is very immensely popular over the years. But this year, an intent of bringing in a little bit of a freshness in terms of awards. So this year HYSEA Managing Committee decided to usher in and then change the award actually. So we have engaged a Gilhari team led by Yashashvi Anand to redesign the award. So I think they've done a fabulous job and then not only delivered a wonderful design, but also actually the required numbers have been produced in time for this award function today. Okay. The award committee consists of Mr. CVD Ramprasad, Director STPI, Bharani Arol, President HYSEA, Bipin Pendyala from Invenio, L. Suresh, CEO Identis, Srinivas Rao, COO HYSEA, Kiran, and Prashant Nadella. So the award committee adopted the following process: a quantitative and then qualitative evaluation of the corporate performance in terms of export volume in the financial year, last financial year, and we also have taken the absolute growth. And the quantitative data has been taken from STPI and an SEZ, and the committee has actually evaluated and the process audited by KPMG, and then so we are going to declare the winners today. Okay. May I request the dignitaries on the dais to present the awards to the winners. I'll call one by one. We'll begin with the export category awards. The top three exporters from Telangana. Infosys Limited is the top exporter from Hyderabad. I request Raghu Bodupalli, AVP, Development Center of Gachibowli, and Manisha Sabu, AVP, Center Head for Pocharam Campus, to come and then receive the award. Infosys is a global leader in the next generation digital services and consulting. They enable clients in 45 countries to navigate their digital transformation. Congratulations, Infosys team. While the Infosys team is receiving the award, the next top exporter is Tata Consultancy Services. May I request Mr. V. Rajanna, Senior Vice President and Global Head, Technology Business Unit and Regional Head, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, to come and then receive the award. It's great, Rajanna. Consistently, you've been performing. Actually, as in this year, it is very interesting to receive the award from your own COO. TCS is a clear leader among the Indian IT services companies, and today the global powerhouse TCS makes Hyderabad proud, not just Hyderabad, but I think India proud in the global market space. Thank you, gentlemen. The third award in this category of top exporter goes to Tech Mahindra Limited. May I request Mr. Sharath Kumar, Senior Vice President, to please to come up and receive the award, and along with his other colleagues. Tech Mahindra represents the connected world, offering innovative and customer-centric information technology experiences. It's a 4.9 billion company with 1,25,000 employees across 90 countries, helping 941 global customers, including some Fortune 500 companies. Congratulations. Thank you, Tech team. So now we are moving on to the top two IT/ITES exporter in the category of MNC, which includes GICs as well. So Microsoft in India is the GIC top exporter. May I request Mr. Sudeep Kunchala, leader, India Development Center, to come up and receive the award, please. Microsoft India has 3 technology groups where some of the most inspiring, innovative, and then talented minds work. These 3 groups are Microsoft Artificial Intelligence and Research, Cloud and Enterprise Group, and Experience and Devices Group. Congratulations to Microsoft.
Sorry. The next is you.
The second award in this category goes to Qualcomm India Private Limited. May I request Mr. Shashi Reddy, VP Engineering and Center Head Hyderabad, to please come up and then receive the award. Qualcomm is the world leader in 3G, 4G, and next generation wireless technologies. And today they are pioneering the way how 5G is unfolding with intelligent products and revolutionizing industries and businesses. Congratulations, Shashi. Now we moving on to the top Indian ITES exporter in the category of 1,000 crore plus turnover. The first awards in this category goes to Cyient Limited. May I request Mr. Rajendra Velagapudi, Senior Vice President and Head of Manufacturing, to come up and receive the award, please. Cyient is a global engineering and technology solutions company as a design, build, and maintain partner for leading organizations worldwide. Congratulations, Cyient. Thank you, Rajendra. The second award in this category goes to Mindtree. May I request Prasad Narla, Vice President and then Global Delivery Head of Mindtree, to come up and then receive the award, please. Mindtree delivers digital transformation and technology services from ideation to execution, enabling Global 2000 clients to outperform with their competition. So they are a born digital company. Congratulations, Prasad. Thank you, Prasad. The next award recognizes the fastest growing IT/ITES companies in the state, both in MNC and GIC and Indian category. So this is the award which spans across all the companies. For this award, absolute revenue growth in 1920 versus 1920-21 has been considered. And the first award for the fastest growing MNC, GIC, ITES company above 500 crore category goes to Amazon IT Services. May I request Prashant Agarwal, Director Software, to come up and receive the award, please. Congratulations, Prashant. The next company in this category, 500 plus crores, Intel Technology India Private Limited. May I request Srinivas Bairi, Senior Director Engineering and Center Head Hyderabad, and Maria L, to please come up and receive the award. Intel creates world-changing technology that improves the life of every person on the planet. Congratulations, Intel team. The next award is award for fastest growing Indian IT/ITES services company in 500 crore category, IV Software Development Center. Mr. Veerabhadra Rao, Old-Time Director, to come up and receive the award, please. IV Software creates innovative software and agile platforms that power the online gaming industry. Congratulations, IV team. final category of export awards is for small and medium enterprises. The top 3 exporters in the SME category of 200 crore are Pramati Technologies. Not sure if someone is there to receive. Mr. KV Prasad is supposed to come. Next we go to Evoke Technologies. May I request Mr. Ramesh Madala, founder and MD, please come up and then receive the award. Evoke Technologies is a global information technology services company offering innovative software development, IT outsourcing and IT consulting services. Congratulations, Evoke. Thank you. The final award in this category goes to Guru Gauri Krupa Technologies, GGK as it known, and now it is HYSEA Solutions. May I request Umesh, Senior Director, and then Mr. Ramesh Nandyala, Senior Director, HR, to please come up and receive the award. Congratulations, Ramesh and Umesh. So, GGK established in 1998. Now it is HYSEA Solutions, which is specialized in applying leading-edge digital technologies across industries. Congratulations, HYSEA. Top exporter in SME category in 100 crore turnover. InnoMind Software. May I request Rajalakshmi Achanta, partner and CPO to please come up and then receive the award. InnoMinds is an AI-first platform-led digital transformation and full life cycle product engineering services company headquartered in San Jose, California. Congratulations, InnoMinds team. Thank you, InnoMinds team. The next category of award has been instituted last year to recognize companies which have added maximum number of employees in Hyderabad. So the award for maximum net employee addition for the year 2021 goes to Legato Health Technologies LLP. May I request Mr. Harish Kumar Chukka, Site Head and Director Procurement, to please come up and receive the award. Legato Health is managed services delivery organization that specializes in digital transformation and provide IT and business operations services to US health insurers. Congratulations, Legato. Thank you, Legato team. The last but not the least award, it is to recognize the maximum number of female employee addition in the year 2021, goes to Wells Fargo India Private Limited. May I request Sridhar Chunduri, SVP Head and Technology, to come up and then receive the award, please. Congratulations to all the winners for setting up benchmarks for the next year, and then others who are watching out, I think continue your stellar performance for the next year as well. So may I now request Mr. Isaac Rajkumar, HYSEA Innovation Forum Lead and Managing Director of OpenText India, to anchor the product awards. Isaac, over to you.
Right, so now after the export, it's time for the products. I'm pretty sure Hyderabad, being a hotbed, must have been a difficult choice to make with multiple products to evaluate before we come with this award. So, all yours, Mr. Isaac. Let's hear from you. Who's winning all the honors for the Product Awards, HYSEA Product Awards for the year 2021?
Okay, good evening, everyone. So HYSEA Product Awards have some specific objectives. It is for recognizing product companies and encouraging world-class product development out of Hyderabad, to nurture and encourage and celebrate innovation in startups, and lead Hyderabad into the next wave of growth, right? So in this year, we have 6 categories of awards: emerging products, fast-growing enterprise product, fast-growing consumer product, product with social impact, product led by women, and product which are established product. I mean, the best award for best established product. We introduced a new category 6 years ago called High 10, which is Hyderabad hottest 10 startups, where Hyderabad's top 10 startups are recognized. Quality this year has been great and getting significantly better with time. A major trend this year has been a growing number of nominations for the emerging awards. We received an encouraging response this year to the product awards. Evaluating all of them in a fair and transparent manner is our top priority. So this year, we have also been working with KPMG Assurance and Consulting Services as process advisor and evaluator for the HYSEA Product Awards. The first round of shortlisting was done by KPMG, and a 21-member jury consisting of industry leaders, technologists, business heads, and investors. They helped evaluate the second round. 33 finalists were chosen to showcase today, which were all in the booths that are behind. After final jury interactions today, 6 winners in 6 categories and 10 high-10 winners were chosen. We followed a defined process using clear and uniform criteria in 3 different rounds. Some of the criteria considered across the board include innovation and uniqueness, value proposition, market opportunity and go-to-market plan, the management and leadership team, social impact, growth and scalability, product leadership, and market share, growth and scalability. These were some of the key criteria that were considered by the jury to evaluate products in all the 6 categories. To begin with the winners, we start off with the winner for the emerging product. The winner is HYSEA from Viviminds Technologies Private Limited. I'd request the winners to come out to the stage to receive the award. HYSEA is a power-packed digital transformation platform helping businesses enhance efficiency, transparency, and productivity of business operations by empowering business users with no coding skills. The next award category is fast-growing enterprise product. The winner is Kiot Full Stack IoT Platform from Kiot Innovations Private Limited. I'd request the winners to, congratulations, I request the winners to come to the stage. Kiot is a full stack IoT platform for smart home brands, consumer appliances, manufacturers, and businesses to launch IoT products and solutions in less than 15 days. Congratulations. The next award category is fast-growing consumer product, and the award goes to Micron Technology Operations India for 2450 SSD. 2450 is a DRAM-less client SSD built with the most advanced Micron 176-layer NAND design primarily for personal computer storage. We welcome Micron team to come over to the stage. Congratulations. The next award category is for established products. The winner is Linkwell Telesystems Private Limited for point of sale terminal model GL11. Congratulations. Please come out to the stage. So the next category is product and organization led by women. And the winner is KinderPass Private Limited. And the solution is KinderPass, a digital child healthcare platform that helps parents track and boost a child's early growth, critical growth and development. Welcome team to come out to the stage. The next category is product with social impact, and the winner is Maruth Dronotech Private Limited for their product Seedcopter. They're India's first commercial company in the arena of UAV aerial seeding. Please come to the stage to receive our. So we have announced the winners of the 6 categories, and now on to Hyderabad High 10, which is the Hot 10 startups for the year in 2021. I'll call out the names of the startups who are part of this High 10, and you're requested to come onto the stage for a group photo opportunity. I'm going to read out the 10 names. Maruth Dronotech, Hyrex AA Private Limited, Subtle AA Private Limited, Keyot Innovations Private Limited, Wasser Labs IT Solutions, HYSEA Enterprises, KinderPass Private Limited, Aptagrim Consulting, Vivid Minds Technologies Private Limited, SMEA Analytics Private Limited. So I'd request all of you to come out to the stage for a photo opportunity.
Check. The potential top 10 startups, my friends, so we never know. They hold the key. They hold the key to the future. So we never know, the next year they might be receiving the awards for the highest exports. We never know. So hoping they get there. Please put your hands together for the top 10 startups based on the performance last year. So the 10 startups there are on stage. So we see the future standing up there, the 10 big names, which potentially holds the key to a lot of solutions that we look for the coming year. For a lot of people, the stage might look like a crowd, but this is one place where a crowd is always good because these guys are the solution makers for the problems we face today. So lovely to see so many on stage, the 10 amazing brands, 10 amazing teams, 10 amazing bunch of people we look forward to. And that's why I believe technology is an amazing leveler. You see people absolutely young. You see people, senior people who have seen the world, and all of them are there together trying to find solutions. So that's the beauty of technology, and that's why I believe technology is a great leveler indeed. So the guys on the stage, make some noise. On the stage, guys on the stage, make some noise so that we know, we recognize your voice, and we hope to see you once again the next year. Terrific, terrific, terrific. Thank you so much.
So hearty congratulations to all the winners. Before we wind up today's awards presentation, we are glad to recognize, along with Telangana State Innovation Cell, 2 grassroots innovators for the contribution to Telangana State's innovation ecosystem. First recognition goes to Mr. Shanmukha Rao for his innovation, 6-row rice transplanter and road sweeping machine. Shanmukha Rao is a serial innovator who has contributed to the sectors of sanitation and agriculture through his innovations. Yes. The second recognition So continuing with the recognition along with Telangana State Innovation Cell, the second grassroots innovation recognition goes to Mr. Mupparappu Raju for his innovation on automatic switching on-off of street lights. Mr. Mupparappu Raju is a well-known innovator from Warangal's Gopalapuram village who has built several low-cost innovations, including sensors for street lights and battery-operated bicycle. So congratulations to all the winners. I now hand back the proceedings to Harish Bharadwaj.
Right, thank you so much. It was, I think we have given enough reasons for a lot of people to celebrate tonight. And I would strongly recommend all of you to celebrate it as much as you can because it's all about enjoying the journey, isn't it? Now, if we consider innovation to be a beautiful carriage that gets drawn only by one stern horse, and that horse goes by the name of leadership, And to befit the stage, the august guest and all the achievers, I invite on stage Mr. Kishore Bora, MD Energy Tech and MC member of HYSEA, to launch the book, Get Leaderized, along with all the esteemed guests we have on stage. Right, so all the things that's happening around, one thing we surely need more at all levels, starting from the grassroots to the topmost corporate, is that one amazing leader. So a fitting book, a fitting title for the demand of the industry today. Get Leaderized is the book by Mr. Kishore Bora, Managing Director, Energy Tech Global, and also an MC committee member of HYSEA. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm pretty sure this book is going to be available in a lot of online platforms. So make sure you get a copy for yourself. And now, right, according to Hyderabad standards, it's pretty early in the evening. And Mr. Bharani is already planning something interesting there. So I request President of HYSEA, Mr. Bharani, to hand over the mementos to our guest of honors who have been on stage, felicitating a lot of important people and winners all through. I request Mr. Bharani to hand over the mementos to our guest of honors who are there on stage with us all through. Please hand over the mementos to our guest of honors, please. Big round of applause. A big thank you to Mr. NGS, as he's popularly known, for gracing the occasion and sharing nuggets of information that we would have otherwise taken at least 3.5 books and 20 hours of learning. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Also request Mr. Bharani to hand over the memento to Mr. Ram from STPI Hyderabad. Mr. Ram from STPI Hyderabad. And when we have Mr. Chaudhary, thank you so much for being here with us. Mr. Bharani, could you please hand over the memento to Mr. Chaudhary as well? Mr. Chaudhary. A memento to Mr. Chaudhary as well, please. Yeah. So the minute we decided to give you the title of Bhishma Pitama, you get all the plaudits, don't you? Fantastic having you here. Right. So, it's such a beautiful scene here. People who have toiled to put together something really, really meaningful for this year's event. seem to have found all the reasons to celebrate because this surely looks like a grand finale. A lot of people deservedly winning the awards that they thoroughly deserve. So, I would now request Mr. Srinivas Rao, COO HYSEA, to please come up on stage and join us and thank the people who have been instrumental in putting together something of this scale, something of this finesse. In short, I request Mr. Srinivas Rao, COO HYSEA, to deliver the thank you address. Thank you, sir.
Harish. So just hang in there for a few more minutes. This will be a very short vote of thanks. And I can assure you, I think the evening is still young. So before I really thank anyone else, I want to start by thanking my colleague Neerja for first putting me in this spot to do the vote of thanks. But more than that, for her incredible 2 months work, the result of which you are seeing today. So a lot of effort has gone. It's a teamwork, we all know. But I want to kind of single her out and thank her first before I begin the proceedings. Thanks, Neerja. Wonderful job. So all the keynote speakers of the morning, Ashutosh, Anil Bansali, and the global leaders who have taken time out to address us, from Franklin Templeton, GE, Broadridge, Infor, Amazon, Qualcomm. Sincere thanks to them. They mentioned Hyderabad, they mentioned HYSEA, they congratulated us. It means a lot to us. Thank you. And all the panels that were very interesting, the vertical industry panel, the technology panel where we heard a professor's equations after a long time, which kind of took me back to the classroom situation. And then, of course, the Digital for Public Impact panel, all were very interesting. Thanks to all of them. And more than anything else, thanks to our important guest today, Mr. Subramaniam, who came all the way to Hyderabad and made it a special day for us. Thank you, sir. And Mr. Jayesh Ranjan and his team, STPI and SEZ team for, like every year, supporting us, collaborating to decide the award winners and giving us all the data and information and sitting with us in the jury. And of course, the entire event team that planned this whole thing for more than 2 months, that includes the executive committee of HYSEA, Bharani, Prashant, Kishore, Manisha, Isaac, and in addition to that, people like Ramesh Kaza, Kishore Borra, Mamta Madhireddy, all of them, they have regularly joined the weekly, bi-weekly calls, gave the ideas on speakers, topics, agenda, logistics, everything. Thank you all. And the large product awards jury that spent time on the tool and today in the hall to pick the winners, and our partners and supporters, TIE, T-Hub, V-Hub, Hyderabad Angels, IIT, IIITH, and TSIC, Telangana State Innovation Cell. Thank you, all of them. And nothing is possible, without money and without sponsorship, without some financial support. A big thanks to our Platinum event sponsor, QCity, and our regular, patrons, industry patrons, Broadridge and First Source, and also the ecosystem patrons, NSL, GMR, ICICI, and Raheja. Thanks to all of them. And lastly, we now have an arrangement with
Customized present moment to the ICSC folks, to all the speakers.
And HYCC, our hospitality partner. And, it won't be complete unless I mention what ICICI does, very cleverly, very innovatively for every major event of us. Come with something innovative and customized gift for our speakers and managing committee members. They have done it again. Thank you. That was very nice, ICICI team. Appreciate it. So, and thanks to my own small team of just, apart from Nirja, just 3 more people, who worked day and night and who really, whatever those avatars you saw, they wore multiple hats, multiple avatars to make this all happen. And sincere thanks to Bharani. He was there. He would finish his midnight calls and again join the event call in 9:30 in the morning, every time without fail. Sometimes it used to be just him, but he would be there to support us with all the decisions, so that we could move forward and make things happen. And sincere thanks to Gilari, Kiran mentioned them. So most of you who are regular recipients of this award would have noticed a new award this time. It came out very well. It took a lot of effort, design effort, manufacturing effort, minor tweakings, improvisations, and it has a Karimnagar filigree, silver filigree around in the base that gives us a distinct Telangana touch. So we are very happy about it. So sincere thanks to them. So I think I have covered everyone. My apologies if I left out anyone. That is not intentional, because I again say, while I thank Nirja, I also want to tell her she suddenly put me on the spot. So, but I sincerely appreciate the entire support we received. So it's a very happy moment. Yeah, our PR agency, Sudarshan. Thanks, Sudarshan. And we complete 30 years. There is outside a 30-year booth. So I hope most of you have clicked pictures there. It's a very, celebratory occasion for HYSEA. So if you have not done it, please, when you step out, take a pic. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of the evening, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, the preparation for the 30th Annual HYSEA Innovation Summit 2022 maybe starts now. You've been a lovely audience, and indeed it has been a celebration of technology. Have a great evening, stay safe, take care, and come back and win more awards. Thank you so much. Music. Thank you so much.
Harish.